What's going on, everybody? At 0626, bringing you some Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 open beta gameplay. Playing the Operations game mode, and I figured since I'm going to talk about Operations, might as well put some in the background for you guys to watch. I have some pretty decent clips for you guys to check out. But I do want to talk about the Operations game mode because, once again, Operations is returning in Battlefield 5 under the name Grand Operations. But I just wanted to talk about this game mode a little bit, and what my expectations are going into Battlefield 5 regarding Operations. And I'm not gonna lie, Operations to me in Battlefield 1 was probably the greatest game mode that they had to offer, because in my opinion it was probably the best World War I experience. I felt like when I was playing Operations, I felt like a soldier in World War I. I loved how in even some maps you got to experience parts of the map that weren't available to you through Conquest or any other game mode. Like, for instance, here in Ballroom Blitz, the trenches in the front of the map. It's not something you actually really experience much in the Conquest mode, or the Conquest version of the map, as well as St. Quentin Scar, which is like the first two sectors are all trenches. It's great. I actually really did enjoy that part of Operations Battlefield 1, and it's just a really good game mode. It's really good. It's really easy to rack up points. It's really easy to get kills and all that shit. The problem is a lot of people, if you don't have a competent squad, and believe me, I've had some competent squads in my day, but for whatever reason, we would still lose games because 5 people out of a 32-person team can't carry the whole team because the rest of the team is absolute garbage. So of course you're going to run into teammates that are just completely asinine in terms of how this game is played. Which, it's defend and capture objectives. It's really not that hard to figure out, but for whatever reason, people are stupid enough to not realize that that's what you have to do in the game. But, regardless, this game mode's probably my favorite game mode in all of the Battlefield franchise, at least in Battlefield 1 terms anyway. It's probably one of the best new additions, although it does have its downsides. I think the fact that this game mode to me is a combination of both Conquest and Rush kind of, I don't want to say kills both game modes. It definitely killed Rush. I don't think Conquest will ever die in a Battlefield game, but I think, in my opinion, compared to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 days, Battlefield 1's Operations game mode definitely killed the concept of Rush, because why would you play the same game mode? It's also a lot easier to level up and rack up points in Operations than it is in Rush. So, at least in my opinion anyway. But it's something to think about, I do have to say. It's really enjoyable. Now, unlike Battlefield 1, where it's basically just capturing points like Conquest, Battlefield 5 is a little bit more, I don't want to say immersive. It's more, we know that the immersion in this game has already been, whew, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother commentary, and believe me, I'll just be beating a dead horse at this point. But it definitely gives you a World War II experience, like Battlefield 1's Operations game mode gives you a World War I experience. It has you coming down as a paratrooper, sabotaging certain parts of the map, like for instance in Narvik, as I burned myself with my own flame grenade. And I still kill that guy because he's trash. Like in Narvik, you go down, then you destroy, I don't know, anti-aircraft guns or some shit. It's basically the most simple part of the map, or the game mode. And then day 2, you're going in with the expectation of capturing points like you did in traditional Operations in Battlefield 1. I like the fact that they add a little bit more objectives, but to be honest, I don't think Narvik is built for this game mode. In my opinion, this was a really bad game mode to start off with this operation, because I honestly feel like out of both maps we got in the beta, which was Rotterdam and Narvik, Rotterdam was definitely my favorite of the two. I absolutely despise how Narvik plays. Even though I did rack up some one or two decent gameplays on it, I just hate how this game plays, especially on this game mode, because this game mode and Narvik just don't mesh. They don't mesh well together, in my opinion. Oftentimes, if you're the attacking team, you're basically stuck at the first capture objective, even if you pass the first part of the match, which is the destroying anti-aircraft guns. But yeah, I mean, that's that in my opinion. You know, it is what it is. Well, I do have high expectations. I know one map isn't going to completely ruin the game mode for me, but I do have some really high expectations regarding grand operations. You know, keep in mind this is only the first map we're getting with it out of, I don't know, 10 multiplayer maps. So who knows what's going to happen? They might have multiplayer. I think as far as I'm aware, all of the multiplayer maps may or may not have it. I'm not sure. By the way, really a quick side note: EMP and the there are two guns that work fantastic in this game with the medic class: the EMP and the MP40. Right now, you're watching me use the EMP. The Sten's pretty good too, but I prefer the MP40 and EMP with this class. Just want to mention that. I have a great gameplay I have saved up with the MP40 on a Rotterdam. But yeah, so that's basically what my take is right now regarding operations, both in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. More so in Battlefield 5 and what I expect out of the game mode, given the fact that operations was probably one of the more populated and popular overall game modes in Battlefield 1, because out of all the game modes you can play, I dare say no one really gave as much of a shit about certain ones as they did about Operations and Conquest, because that was where the bread and butter was with this game, with that game in Battlefield 1. But with Battlefield 5, we'll see how Operations plays out. As far as I'm concerned, I'm Ed0626, and I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay today. And follow me on all the social media shit down in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have an awesome day.